Five years ago this week, the United States went to war in Iraq. Now, while every day new servicemen and women are just starting their tours of duty, there's an increasing number of veterans who have finished their time in Iraq, many of them no older than the average college student. In fact, in 2007, more than 100,000 veterans received Veterans Affairs education benefits for the first time. You're about to hear the stories of veterans who have made the transition from battlefield to classroom, and as you're about to see, what happens in the battlefield doesn't always stay there.
My name is Wendy Barranco. I attend Pasadena City College. I'm majoring in physician assistant studies, and I'm a veteran of the Iraq War. I wanted to get out of LA and see the world. I enlisted as a combat medic. When I saw them come in and they were all shot up or blown up or whatever, and you see them and you're like, damn, this kid is 18, 19, just like me.
I was doing combat missions.
There were times that I was involved in combat situations. Lots of the times I didn't know where it was coming from or who was doing it.
I was the personal driver of the commander of all of Fallujah. Returning home from Iraq was tough, very different than military life.
It was pretty difficult for me to readjust.
I thought coming home would be just easy, I'm home, everything's back to normal, but that wasn't the case.
When you're overseas, you're in a state of constant alert. When I came back and everything was like, angels, they were like, peace, and everything's okay, your body's like, what the hell is going on?
Folks who are used to a very structured type of lifestyle, when they return home, when they don't have that structure in place, it can pose some significant challenge.
Some of the issues I dealt with upon returning home was paranoia. Paranoia in crowded places, public places.
Being out socially in crowded places, I get a little anxious sometimes. I feel sometimes something might happen.
The hardest thing for me was actually getting in a vehicle, cars to my left and my right, which was very odd because when I was overseas, there was no one on my left and on my right.
I love my grandma, she's my life. I was in the kitchen with her, I don't know what I was doing. She turned the blender on. I jumped out of my skin and I turned around and I was just like, what are you, I was ready to just go at her.
When they return home, that startle response, that kind of feeling on guard, if you will, could certainly still be a part of that individual's mentality.
Driving around on July 4th, it was kind of hard. Before the fireworks going off, getting flashbacks. I was diagnosed with PTSD.
PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder, involves a persistent and severe reaction to a life-threatening or traumatic event. We know today that mental health treatments are very, very effective.
I handle it by going to the Brooklyn Veterans Affairs, and I have a psychiatrist that I see.
There are many, many people in this country that experience these types of symptoms. It's a fairly normal experience to have when one is put in a very stressful and taxing environment. Typically talking about it can help one to get a better sense of the problems that they're having and what might be the next step.
Just talking about it with people, like other veterans, really helps. It really does.
Seek help, because there's help out there available for you.
It's not until you do go to therapy and you start talking about stuff and you're start putting the pieces together and you're like, holy this is making sense. The fog clears a little bit, and you see where it's coming from. You see where the problems are coming from.
Whether or not you're a veteran, if you're dealing with any of these issues, there's help available. For more information on services in your area, head to halfofus.com right now.